All right, so now we're going to move on and talk about the second of the three West African kingdoms. We started with Ghana. Now we're moving on to Mali, and we're going to talk about why the reign of Mansa Musa, this is a king of Mali, why his reign is considered a golden age, and that's what we're talking about here. So here we go. All right, I'll give you a second here. Okay, so Ghana, Mali, Songhai. Now, that leads us to believe that Ghana came and went, and then Mali came and went, and then Songhai came and went. And that's not exactly how it works. All three of them, there's a lot of overlap between them. Many of them exist at the same time as the one before or after it. But it's just a matter of which one of those is dominant at the time. So Ghana is eventually weakened by wars and eventually kind of collapses. And Mali kind of rises up in its place. Now, the Kingdom of Mali had existed already, but this is their turn to kind of establish dominance in the region and expand. And they do so under a guy named Sundiata Keita. Now, they established their official kingdom in the mid-13th century. That's the 1200s. But they had existed as a people before that. Mali is going to do the same thing as Ghana. It's going to build its wealth and power on the gold and salt trade. So if you remember the map that you looked at during last class period, it looked a little bit different. Ghana was just kind of this blob that was inland here. Okay, so Mali has now expanded out east into Timbuktu and all the way west to the coast also. Okay, and the other important thing to understand is that they've taken control of the Niger River as a means for facilitating trade. All right. You guys know who Jeff Bezos is? Jeff Bezos is the guy who owns Amazon. He's worth $140 billion. This guy, if we adjust for inflation, Mansa Musa, was worth over $400 billion. Okay? Jeff Bezos, that's like 3 Jeff Bezoses. So, just to put it into perspective, you and I are way closer to being Jeff Bezos than Jeff Bezos is to being this guy. Okay, that's the kind of like put it into perspective a little bit. If this guy went to bed and woke up the next day with Jeff Bezos's money, he'd be pissed. Okay, that's how rich this guy is. And he gets rich the same way Ghana got rich, by exploiting their strategic location for the purposes of profit, the taxation of trade, and the exploitation of trade with regard to the resources that they have under their control, namely iron, gold, silver, in exchange for salt. And that's the model. That's how he gets rich. $400 billion. It's a lot of money. He also, we saw from the map in the previous slide, he doubles the size of his kingdom under his reign also. So I just put this here for, for kind of perspective. So Jeff Bezos is worth 140 billion. And then we have this guy from France, and then Bill Gates, Warren Buffett from Berkshire Hathaway, which is a hedge fund. Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who runs Facebook, that alien. That guy's really a lizard in a human suit, I think, right? Yeah. I think you can unzip him and like a lizard would come out. I think that was who else? The Google guys, yeah. So just to put it in perspective, the guy's really, really rich. Last slide. So we said that each of the West African kingdoms copies the exact same thing as the kingdom that came before them, and they add their own new thing. This is the thing that Mali adds, the adoption of Islam. Okay? Mansa Musa turns the kingdom of Mali into an Islamic country. Okay? And this has profound impacts. Okay? Anytime, and you'll see this throughout history, anytime a country or a civilization adopts Islam, education improves. Education and literacy improve almost immediately. The reason for that is because in order to kind of study the Quran, you need to be able to read and write. So this kind of inherently leads to an increase in education. So Timbuktu is the name of a city that will become the center of Islamic learning and culture. He's going to build mosques, which are Islamic churches, essentially, libraries, and it's going to become the epicenter for the Islamic religion in sub-Saharan Africa. So religious leaders, scholars, artists from all over the place are going to kind of flock to this place, and this is going to become the center of the Islamic world as far as Africa is concerned. So important. Now, obviously, like we said, this also leads to a significant increase in education. That can't be understated. So Ghana has gold and salt trade and taxation of all other trade, right? Mali has gold and salt trade, taxation of all other trade, and Islam. Okay, so that's the important part that we need to know. We said each of them adds their own thing. This is the thing that Mali is adding.